Hey, what is going on? YouTube Tanctics here, and today I'm going to make a video that I haven't made in a very long time, and this is my July 2015 ban list prediction list. Now I'm going to do this a little differently than most. There are going to be 5 parts, however, all 5 parts are going to be in one video. The first part I'm going to do is I'm going to talk about, just briefly, talk about the top decks of the previous format and the top decks of this current format. After that, I'm going to talk to you and explain to you that Konami is a business, and I'll explain more about that later in the video. After that, session 3 is the YouTube Yugioh ban list predictions. It's their YouTube predictions or their Yu-Gi-Oh! July 2014 predictions. Personally, I think a lot of them are biased, but that's just me. Next, I'm going to talk about my ban list. I try to be not as biased, try to be not biased at all, but I'm sure in some sort I am. And then the last section, I'm going to talk about my wish list, and that's where I'm allowed to be biased because that's my ban list. Alright, so first of all, in January through April, the top decks were Cliff Forts and Burning Abyss. You guys probably want to argue with me with that. And when April came around, what happened? Cliff Forts got hit pretty badly. Now they're not as good. You know, they got their scout card hit and some other cards. And then Burning Abyss got Tour Guide taken away from them. So if that pattern goes, the current list, the top decks are Necroz and Burning Abyss. So I don't think Burning Abyss is as good as Necroz. I think Necroz is like up here and Burning Abyss is down here. That's just my prediction. So I can see the ban list hitting or murdering Necroz, but not as bad as we think, and I'll explain that now. Now, the reason I say this is because for Session 2, Konami is a business. You gotta realize that Konami probably knows what sets, what cards, and what cards are gonna be good in the next year. So they're gonna make their current ban lists reflect and help them out with their sales. That's how they're going to do it. Why I say that is, let's see, I'll make a perfect example before I explain a little more. Back in 2014, maybe 2013, late 2013, people hated Judgment Dragon. Everybody wanted a con. Everybody's like, Judgment Dragon is too good, it's, you know, blah, blah, blah. But they did not touch that card at all. Why? Because they knew that the support for Lightsworn was going to come out in June of the next year. So you got to think of it like that. See, people, like, once they get into it, people they despise El Shaddai Construct. They say, that card needs to go because I don't like it. But you gotta realize that the 2015 tins are coming out, and El Shaddai Construct, along with many other cards, are getting reprinted. So of course they're not going to touch Shaddais as bad. On top of that, Shaddais aren't even doing that great in the format. Basically, it's Necroz all the way. But besides that, I don't think you're going to see many decks get hit, even Necroz get hit as badly as it should. That's just my prediction. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and talk about the YouTube ban list, the people who, their predictions, not mine. Now, I want to say a side note here, a lot of the cards that are on here are also on my ban list, so you're going to see the cards multiple times, but I'm going to explain more in depth in my ban list. Basically, I'm going to go into just a list of the cards that came up the most on YouTube. Alright, so for banned cards, we got the Djinn Releaser of Rituals for YouTube. I agree with that, because the Djinn lock. I never played against the Djinn lock, but if it's locking someone out where they can't do anything, then I know Konami doesn't like that because it's not healthy for the game. So Djinn Releaser of the Rituals for them is going to be banned. The next card they want banned or limited is Royal Magical Library. People have been saying this card should have been banned a long time ago. And I think people want this banned now, and they're talking about it now is because of the Chicken Race. I don't really know exactly what the Chicken Race deck does, but Royal Magic Library, they want it banned. But you gotta remember that Chicken Race has not come out yet, so they're not gonna. I don't think this format this coming format they're gonna hit Royal Magic Library at all. Maybe in September or October, but not right now. For limited, we got Necross Unicorn, Necross Cycle, Manju, Senju, El Shaddoll Construct at 1, El Shaddoll Fusion at 1, Stratos at 1. People really want this card back. Heavy Storm or Harpy's Feather Duster. Now, I know I'm going to mention later in the video, but I say Heavy Storm or Harpy's Feather Duster because if one of them comes back, the other one isn't. They're just going to have, like, it wouldn't be good to have Heavy Storm and Harpy's Feather Duster both legal in the, in the game. It would be one or the other. And then Dark Magician of Chaos, Wind Up Carriers and Meteors and Mighty, whatever you call it, the Wind Up deck. Cyberstein, you can see that card coming back. Tribe Infecting Virus. Now for semi-limited, we got Book of Moon, Compulsory Evacuation Device, Monster Gate, Rescue Rabbit, Neo Spaceman Granmole. That's it. And then for unlimited, we got Charge of the Light Brigade, Tragodia, Sacred Swords of the Seven, and Glow Up Bulb, and then Honest. Now, I know I did not talk about Instant Fusion as limited. I'll talk about that right now. I do not think that Instant Fusion is going to get hit in July. Why? Because Nodin is coming out, and that is in the 2015 tin. It's a promo. It's a promotional card for people to buy the tin. So Instant Fusion is going to stay at unlimited, but I bet you money, just kidding, just fake money, that in October, Instant Fusion probably will go down to limited or banned. That is my prediction. However, that's YouTube's ban list. It's my turn. My ban list consists of one banned card, and that is the Jin Releaser of Rituals. The reason I picked that card is because if it is, like I said earlier, if it is locking up someone else from playing the game and they can't do nothing because it's called the Jin lock, then it's not healthy for the game and it will get people not to want to play. So I can bet that the Jin Releaser of Rituals is either going to get limited or banned. Like, I'm sure, like, I don't know all of them by heart, but I know there's a lot of different types of locks in the past that got banned. So the Jin Releaser of Ritual, limited or banned, I promise you. As far as limited, I mean, I kind of don't agree with myself, but at the same time, it could happen. And I'm thinking of Manju and Senju. Personally, I think, like, they may not get hit as bad as we think they will, because we don't know if Konami has, maybe he hasn't come out in the OCG, but some type of deck that is ritual based again. So they may not want to hit Manju and Senju as bad because it might affect the future sales. So if they don't, like, personally, if they don't hit Manju or Senju, they should hit the Necross cards themselves. They hit the Unicorn, they should hit the Brionic card. You gotta slow down the deck. I mean, I've seen the deck play, and I don't play against it because I don't like it. Next card I do agree with is Wind Up Zen Mighty or Zen Mighty, whatever it's called. And I never played Wind Ups back when they were really good. However, right now, they're not doing good at all. So I can see that card going back to limited and then maybe one day going back to unlimited. I'm not sure. Next card limited, I hate to say it, El Shaddoll Fusion. But I don't know if it's going to happen once again because of the 2015 tin. But El Shaddoll Fusion is really good. El Shaddoll Fusion can get me to special summon a El Shaddoll Construct on the opponent's turn. And with El Shaddoll Construct's abilities, I can possibly destroy their back row, one of their back rows, or draw one. So it essentially is really good. However, I don't think it's going to get hit that bad just yet. But when it comes October, I bet you it will. Because it might be dangerous to the current cards that are coming out, or the future cards that are going to be coming, or decks that are coming out. Next card, Cyberstein. I can see that card coming back. I mean, you got to spend 5,000 life points out of your 8,000, so that leaves you with 3,000 life points, so you can summon some type of fusion card. I mean, it's really a big disadvantage for someone who does that. I mean, if Instant Fusion gets banned, you can use Cyberstein to get Nodin out, but it's not worth it. I personally don't think it's worth it. And then, honestly, I think Cyberstein eventually can go unlimited. Why? Because you're already spending 5,000 life points, and chances are you getting back, being able to use Cyberstein again in the duel is really slim. So Cyberstein right now 2 limited, and maybe one day limited. I can see that happening. And finally, for my limited list, I do say Dark Magician of Chaos. A lot of people say this card is not that good. I agree with them. I don't think it's as good as it used to be. I mean, essentially, yes, it does let you bring back a Regeki or something. But a lot of cards can do that now, like Magician of Faith, for instance. And that's not seeing very much play. Jar of Avarice. Maybe I don't get the Jar of Avarice. I can use Raigeki, Dark Hole, Call of the Haunted, or whatever. And I can put them back in my deck and reuse them. I've used Raigeki more than once in a duel, and it helps. So, Dark Magician of Chaos, right now limited, October semi-limited, in January then it's going to be unlimited. That is my guess. But that is down the road some. Semi-limited, I can see El Shaddoll Construct going to semi-limited because one, it won't destroy the El Shaddoll decks. So if you put El Shaddoll Construct to 2, and it still promotes to 10s for people who like Shaddolls like me. I'm basically buying the 2015 10s so I can get more Shaddol support, so I can get Yang Zing support, and Statellar, more of it, all of it. And I think it would be stupid for Konami to destroy Necroz or Shaddolls or Burning Abyss this format. That's what makes this July format very tricky because it is like the center of all the current meta decks are year old, and the new decks are going to be coming in a few months. So July is kind of in between. Next card, Compulsory Evacuation Device. I can see that card coming back. I mean, there's so many cards that built in the decks, like monster effects, that are Compulsory Evacuation Device. For example, Shaddoll Dragon. If I set that card and you flip it, it's a Compulsory Evacuation Device. It does okay. So, Compulsory Evacuation Device to 2, I think, will be okay. And eventually 3. Not a big deal. We need stuff like that. We need cards out there that are going to help us beat really hard decks that are, rely on back row. Now, next card, semi-limited, Neo Spaceman Granmal. I don't like the card, but I haven't seen much play of it, so seeing it back won't be that bad. Another card that should be on my wish list and could possibly come to the ban list is Rescue Rabbit. Two reasons. My personal reason is because I really like Evil Swarms, and I like to get that deck going again. And 2, the next cards, like the Enter Mage cards, I don't exactly know what their English name is, but those Mage cards that bring themselves back from the graveyard if you sacrifice 1,000 life points, are rank 4s. They're really promoting rank 4s for the next format. I think you're going to see a lot of that. And putting Rescue Rabbit to 2 might be smart because it will promote sales in the future for rank 4 decks. Now then, unlimited cards. I can see Charge of Light Brigade going to unlimited. Reason I can see that coming back because it would be really cool to see Lightsworn at its full power again and see how good it does in the meta. I don't think they're ever going to be overpowered like they used to be ever again. So Charge of Light Brigade won't be that bad. Also, there's a lot of cards out there that are like Charge of Light Brigade that search out, cards. For example, Reinforcement of the Army. That searches out any type of warrior. So it does the same thing. Or E-Call or whatever it's called, Emergency Call, whatever it's called for the evil heroes. Like, I never got, Charge of Light Brigade was limited, but, Reinforcing the Army is unlimited, and Emergency Call, whatever it's called for the Elemental Heroes, is unlimited, and they do the same exact thing as Charge of the Light Brigade. I never understood why Charge of the Light Brigade was at 1. Now it's semi-limited, which it's semi-limited, but it's not seeing that much play. I mean, Lightsworns aren't doing that great, and there's much more better engines than a Lightsworn engine. So Charge of the Light Brigade at 3, I can see it happening. Another card I can see happening, maybe not this format, but maybe next. Dark Hole at 3. I mean, maybe back in the day when there weren't that many effects, like when Lightsworns, Black Wings, all those decks were really good. I mean, Dark Hole was overpowered, and it should have been at 1, which it was. But nowadays, the way decks work now, it's like you want your cards in the graveyard. So Dark Hole at 3, not too bad. I don't think people are going to play it. Because, for example, I got a good deck, Yang Zings. I love using Dark Hole. I only put Raigeki in that deck. I put 2 Dark Holes in that deck because with that, I can use the effects of my Yang Zings and special summon again. So 3 of them, I can see happening. Another card I can see is Tragodia to 3. Tragodia hasn't seen much play. I mean, it's been semi-limited for over a year. So putting it to 3, I don't think will affect the meta or affect the game at all. And then Dragon Ravine to 3. I mean, if they don't put Dragon Ravine to 3, they need to make a support card for Dragonities that are like, that are Dragon Ravine, but only for Dragonities. However, Dragon Ravine at 3, it's not seeing much play at 1, and Dragonities aren't doing that great, and those those stupid dragons are not even legal anymore. Those dragon rulers, there we go. So Dragon's Ravine to 3, I can see it happening. Another card, Sacred Sword to 7, that card can come back, especially to promote the Red Eye support, and also dragon rulers are no more. So Sacred Sword to 7 should come back. Another card, Glow Up Bulb. I think Glow Up Bulb should go unlimited because, well, you can only use the effect once per duel, and just like people say, plant decks aren't doing that great. So Glow Up Bulb, even if plant decks are doing good, I don't think Glow Up Bulb will be used that much because it is only once per duel. And then finally, Sinister Serpent at 3. They remade the card so it's not as good. It nerfed it, so no one's playing it. No one can care less about Sinister Serpent, so I see that card going to unlimited. And that is my ban list. Next, my wish list. This is my last section. I would love to see Stratos back. I don't know why it's been banned. I mean, OCG is not banned, and I don't think it's doing that much. It's doing that much. I mean, I know you got the Mass Heroes, but Stratos should come back. There's a lot of different cards that are like Stratos, so Stratos comes back. Plus, I made a bet with my friend about a year ago that Stratos will eventually come back. Now I'm going to go back to Harpy, Feather Duster, or Heavy Storm. I say or again because one or the other is going to come back. Both of them would not come back to the game because it's unhealthy. They will not do that. But I really think Heavy Storm or Harpy, Feather Duster should come back because there are decks like that just revolve around background. Teller Knights, Evil Heroes, and I think it'd be good to have Heavy Storm in the game to people who love. I'm gonna call them back row whores. Back row whores who love to put like 5 back rows in their field, in their backfield, and it's not fun because then you don't want to attack them. It's like, well, I mean, you probably have like a Phoenix Chain, Dimensional Prison, Compulsory Evacuation Device. I mean, if I summon, you're just gonna get rid of it. So, I think they need to have some type of fear because right now, back row, they don't really have any type of fear at all. They just put them back. Like, oh, okay, you MST me. Okay, I have 4 war cards. I don't care if you MST me. Or the other card there, that new card, that Cyclone card. Another card I would love to see limited is Dante. I hate Burning Abyss. I mean, I want to build a deck, but I hate playing against it. How would I say that? I hate playing against Burning Abyss because of Dante. Dante gets those cards out and it just moves the deck. It's, I hate it. So Dante to 1 would be great. But I don't think that's going to happen. 2015 tins. That's my, that's not going to happen. Fire Lake, I don't like that card at all. But I don't think it's going to get hit. Another card I like to see limited is Sangan. But, again, that probably won't work because the Infecting Virus is now a card. Again, I know it's been nerfed. I think it does basically the same thing. So, Sangan, would love to see that come back. I don't know if it's going to come back this format, but maybe next. I mean, you could do a Sangan with Tour Guide, but Tour Guide's limited, so Sangan I don't think is as powerful as it used to be. Sangan would be cool to come back. Next card, 1,000 Eyes Restrict. I'm not the only one who wants 1,000 Eyes Restrict back because it's been banned for like 10 years now. It's time to let it back. It's not that good. It's essentially, I know it steals a monster. Okay, well, so does Creature Swap, and that card's unlimited, or so does Mind Control. So 1,000 Eyes Restrict should come back, and I don't think it would be as good as they think it would be. And then finally, for the limited cards I would love to see back is Gateway of the Six, only because 6 Samurais are a really cool deck, and it would be cool to see them back in the game. And speaking of 6 Samurais, Xian, that'd be kind of cool to see back as well. Xian is, I mean, it's at 2 right now. Seeing it at unlimited, I don't think it would be as good. I know, like, I mean, it could be, because, I don't know, but I think unlimited would be good, and it would also bring back the, like, if you look, I mean, Black Wings, they have all their stuff back. Light Swarm will probably get all their stuff back, and so should 6 Samurai. They're all decks that are in the same class. I mean, might as well. First time unlimited, we got Thunder King Riot. There's too much special summoning with the Pendulum summoning and Teller Knights and the Enter Mages and Burning Abyss, Cliff Forts, all of the Necroz. There's so much special summoning in this game. It's not funny. Thunder King should go semi-limited because it helps with the special summoning issue. But I think in the future it should go back to unlimited. That's just me. Another card people don't talk about for semi-limited would be Allure of Darkness, or Allure of Darkness. It's essentially a Sacred Sword of the 7, except instead of discarding level 7, you're banishing a dark. Sacred Sword of the 7, I think, should come back. Might as well. I mean, there's a lot of decks that are all dark, and or Twilight deck, or like again Burning Abyss, or like I think Infernoids are one of them. They're all dark. It'd be cool. And then whatever, I'm sure like most powerful decks are always dark and light decks. So I'm sure in the future we're gonna have a lot of dark decks coming back, or there are gonna be new dark decks coming into the game. So Allure of Darkness would be cool to see. Now finally, my unlimited would be Honest. Simple reason, because I would like to see Lightsworn at their best since 2010. I honestly don't think if you put Honest to 3, I don't think it's going to affect the game that much. I just think it's going to make older decks better, and I think it's healthy for the game to promote older decks, because there's a lot of people who don't want to play because they don't want to play the new decks. They want to play their old deck. Like for me, I loved my Lightsworn. I got into it because I love Lightsworn. They brought support back for it. So let's say you love Black Wings, and they're making tons of support for that. Old people who haven't played in a few years would love to come back. And I think Honest at 3 will be pretty good. But that's it. Now remember, please rate, comment, like, and subscribe, and you can be entered into competition. And you can win free cards. So do that, please. Also, if you have any questions or you gotta contact me, I got my email below, so go check that out. But that is gonna wrap it up. I really hope you enjoyed that. Please tell me what your ban list predictions are, just so I can get an idea. None of our stuff is accurate, obviously, because it hasn't come out yet. But what I want to do is I want to keep my list that I have here, and I want to compare it to the next list that's coming out, see how accurate I was. But that's gonna wrap it up. I know it was kind of a 20-minute video, but this is probably the most unbiased ban list you're probably gonna find. Anyways, I will see you next time. Peace.